Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lou Harty, 21st Century Education. How's everybody feeling tonight? Then we'll get started. Well, I'm pretty wrapped tonight because I thought I was actually going to be doing this webinar on my own, but I've managed to lock down Jamie McIntyre, who has just come down from the Gold Coast. It's good that he's come down to the office. So we're very privileged for the people that are here tonight to ask the questions that you've been thinking about relating to 21st Century ENetwork. For those of you who have never heard of 21st Century ENetwork, tonight you're going to learn all about it. So if you've ever wanted to start an online business or you wanted to get paid, potentially, 5 or 6 figure incomes just from blogging part-time or full-time, then tonight's session is going to be very informative. So for those of you who have never had or considered doing an online business, tonight I think what we have for you is going to make you change your mind about that. So firstly, before I bring on Jamie McIntyre, for those people who don't know, he's the CEO and founder of 21st Century Education and the best-selling author of the book, What I Didn't Learn at School But Wish I Had. So this is one of the books that I read and downloaded back in 2006, and from then I've had a very amazing investment career, implementing a lot of the strategies from property to internet to trading to business, and a big part of it has been having that financially abundant mentality. So many of you here, you've got the opportunity to download that book, but you may have also seen Jamie at some of the seminars that he's had with the Financial Education Summit, our 4-day Education for Life seminars, and many other speaking gigs around the country. So in recent years, we've had some amazing presenters: Sir Richard Branson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tim Ferriss, and Randy Zuckerberg, just to name a few. And, the reason that these people are part of this is because they believe in the same philosophy and the importance of financial education. So that's enough for me for right now. Let's just bring him on. So, Jamie, welcome.
Hi, Lou. It's great to be back in the country. No, I'm excited to chat tonight. We're planning a lot of things, and I've been in doing business now for 20 years, and I don't think I've ever been as excited as I am now about the future of what we're creating and some of the things that we'll talk about tonight.
So, Jamie, you've written a number of books over the years. We've also mentioned your best-selling book, What I Didn't Learn at School But Wish I Had. I think you're up to your 12th book now, and this is your latest one, How to Become a Bitcoin Millionaire. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think they released that last Friday. I've just come back from Bali. I was on a week's holiday celebrating my birthday, and I busily finished a book on my holiday now. But I've been studying this for some time. For those who know a bit of my background, read What I Didn't Learn at School But Wish I Had. I do talk a little bit about the history of money and the world's banking systems and the Federal Reserve and our fractional reserve banking system. So, and a lot of people have an interest in that. Actually, involved in politics this year, for leading up to the 2013 federal election. One of the most common questions asked in the political forums that I attended was about the reserve, the Federal Reserve banking system, fractional reserve banking. So it's something people are interested in. But Bitcoin, some people are familiar with it, but it's a new digital virtual currency. The idea of it came out in 2008 after Lehman Brothers collapse and the credit crisis. That the person behind it, who is anonymous, decided that we needed a new type of monetary system that's outside the control of centrally controlled banks and the Federal Reserve, because like a lot of people, they're losing trust in the monetary systems of just printing money to solve our debt problems. And so this book is not really just about Bitcoin. It's a little bit about the history of money, the history of currencies, and throughout civilizations, how as soon as it's led to the printing press, it's been the downfall of monetary systems. So will Bitcoin be a future currency is what's posed in the book. But also we like to provide leading edge strategies for our clients and our followers. And your trend is your friend. And I think being ahead of trends is what's helped a lot of people achieve, outperform financially. I've helped people get into, say, Australian property 15 years ago and taught them what I was taught by my millionaire, and those that got in and followed the trend have done very well. I taught people to, start investing in US property 3-4 years ago, and those got in ahead of the trend have done well. Internet, I've got a lot of people taught that over the years, and people have done well. So it's really being ahead of the trend, and there's ways to make a lot of money out of Bitcoin. There's a risk to everything, but the book really shares basically 3 ways that you can become a Bitcoin millionaire. But that's not the focus of tonight. So, but those interested, we're making it available that you can download the section of that book for free at the moment.
So, Jamie, let's talk about 21st Century ENetwork. What was the idea or the concept behind you wanting to create this?
Yeah, for those who understand my passion, obviously the last 15 years as an educator, my passion clearly is to bring to the world a modern-day 21st century education that I believe we should have been taught at school but weren't, and I believe can reshape the world effectively, and certainly this country, and that's been my goal. Is to, one of the reasons we're in the politics is to try and do it from a political level and change the school systems. As Albert Einstein said, the same level of thinking that created the problem is not the same level of thinking that's going to solve the problem. So we really need to use the free enterprise as a way to change the education system. So what's happened with is 21st Century Media is one of my companies has partnered with 21st Century Education, because my 2 passions is that I believe to change the world is one through the education system, other is through media. Media has a tremendous amount of influence, and if you look in the past with media, how do we get our news? It's been usually in Australia, our media landscape's been controlled by 2 large companies in Fairfax and Corp, and Corp being one of the largest media providers around the world. And 19th century media is pretty much where these large media companies who have a tremendous amount of power to shape what you and I as consumers of news access. They've made billions of dollars and still do. And but the old model was to hire a heap of journalists and to write content and articles and newspapers, etc. And then we would buy the newspapers or watch TV, and that's how it would be fed our daily news. I have a few challenges with that. I think it's an outdated model, and we want to be ahead of the trend, and we want to see what the future has to hold. A lot of people also don't like the old style media, because why should a journalist on an average salary sitting in an office dictate to us the frame of reference that we see the world? I think it's the sad thing is there's some good journalists out there. There's many very poor journalists, and the challenge is that they tend to be cynical and have a view of the world that is not exactly empowering. And that's the way we've been fed our news, and I think people are fed up with that. Why should an editor in the top of News Corp or Fairfax dictate to you how we should see the world? So a lot of people are now looking for alternate media, and with the internet, it's created a level playing field. So the internet is basically going through industry after industry and basically reshaping or disrupting that industry, and we've seen that time and time again, and media is no different. And now what you see in Australia is the large media companies such as Fairfax, that used to be a $10 billion media empire, is now worth only 10% of that. I mean, it's in massive decline. For those who read the book Killing Fairfax, if you haven't, it's a good book to read. But what's this got to do with tonight? Well, I guess if you look at your trend is your friend, you want to be ahead of a trend, and we see that we can play our part in reshaping the media. I'll give you an example. Old school media, as I said, is hiring a lot of journalists and using that as a way to create content for people to read newspapers, and how Fairfax and News Corp for decades have made their money is they sell classified ads. For instance, you used to look in the paper to buy or rent a house, or buy or sell a car, or to look for a job. But as we know, in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years, there's been internet startup.com companies come along, such as realestate.com, seek.com, carsales.com, and these little minnows are now worth $10 billion plus. And Fairfax, as an example, went from being worth $10 billion to worth $1 billion, because the internet has leveled that playing field. So what's happened is that there's now a disconnect between what journalists were paid and subsidized a lot of money, mainly to write articles to sell advertising indirectly, where now we know we can go online. If we want to buy a car, we'll go to carsales.com as an example. We don't need to, carsales.com doesn't have to have journalists to write articles to convince us to go and look at the ads for cars. We can go directly there for cars, Same with real estate, same with Seek.com. So this disconnect in the media industry is why so many journalists are being laid off, and there's less and less work for journalists because they no longer need it because the internet's leveled that playing field. I'll give you an example, I guess, Lou, of a 21st century media company would be Facebook. Facebook is worth $100 billion, incredible success story. But the question we've got to ask is how many journalists does Facebook hire to write their content? And the answer is, if you're wondering, is none. I mean, Facebook doesn't have a single journalist. If you've been to Facebook, which you all have been, is that Facebook doesn't create any content. Mark Zuckerberg created a website basically where user-generated content. We post our own content. Now, why I'm sharing this and going about sharing this is that it's very critical in knowing the trend and what's going to be the future. What you got to understand with Facebook is they turn over $5 billion in advertising. But what we as individuals, if we have a Facebook account, is we're making posts daily or weekly to Facebook. We provide the content to Facebook free of charge. So they don't need to hire journalists for content because we're happy to provide it as individuals because we share it with our community of followers, of our friends and our family and our community, our online community. But what's happening, if you know, Facebook is making $5 billion in sales off that traffic that we help drive to the Facebook site. Now, we don't really care because they give us a free service, a free platform, so to speak, for us to effectively blog. Because when we're posting on Facebook and Twitter, we're effectively blogging. So what's happening is there's a reshaping of that industry. I guess what we're talking about tonight, if I could nut it down in a simple analogies, is we're going to be providing a platform once we launch with 21st Century Network for people to become bloggers. The difference being with, say with Facebook, you're blogging and not being paid anything. In this platform, we're going to be giving 100% of the advertising and sales revenue that comes from the platform back to the bloggers. So effectively what we're doing through 21st Century Media by partnering with 21st Century Education is we're going to create a 21st Century Network to recruit and train not just dozens of bloggers, but we're talking thousands and thousands of bloggers we want around the world blogging content. And that will drive traffic, obviously, and then there'll be advertising and sales generated from that blogging platform, just like Facebook generates $5 billion in advertising. But we'll be sharing 100% of that back to our blogging network. So I guess that's the long way of getting to the short way of explaining the opportunity we have. Why might we want to do that? Well, because that's obviously going to give exposure to our e-learning 21st century education programs as well and assist us as a company in reaching millions of people and our purpose and mission with that. And that's why we wish, with the combination of media and education, recruiting a lot of bloggers. And I guess that gives the opportunity tonight, Lou, for people that may have an interest in wanting to be a part of that reshaping the media and education industries.
So I know a lot of you are probably thinking that I don't know how to blog. I've never blogged before. What's a blog? Like Jamie said, that with Facebook, most people didn't even know what to put into Facebook. But once they started sort of putting down their thoughts or their ideas, become an authority in the things that they were interested in, that's pretty much how it operates. So what we're doing at 21st Century ENetwork, as Jamie mentioned, is we've created a unique blogging platform, similar to what you would see with Facebook, where you would just enter articles or videos or MP3s, and then you'll be able to share on your specific topic. So some of you will be able to earn, we've got some big money earners that may already earn a high income from blogging already. If you just Google some of the highest paid blogs in the world, there's a lot of people that initially had no clue what they were going to write about, but we're going to teach you all the strategies around that. Your job is not to do the sales and marketing. We do all of that for you because it's a preset blogging platform. Your job is just to get the content inside that, like you would for Facebook. So, Jamie, what about people that have zero internet experience or blogging experience?
It's a good question, and I guess what we're saying, as part of 20th Century Media, is that we are effectively outsourcing journalism. So we're saying we don't want to hire necessarily, we have journalists that work for us, but for 21st Century News, but we really want to outsource journalism. So outsource that to bloggers. And why that is because the future trend in media is that we will all be, as consumers of news, and many of us are already doing it, is that we want to get our news or information or content or whatever we're interested in from independent blogs. We'd rather learn off someone that's passionate about a particular topic or hobby or interest, that is excited about it, is an expert in that particular field, and that way we know we're getting information that's not filtered through senior editors at News Corp or Fairfax or CNN, etc. And so there's no agenda behind the information. There's people that are not just paid to do it, it's their passion. So that's how the media, that's how in the future we'll get our news, and that's already happening. You see some of the top blogs in the world already. Huffington Post, as an example, is one of the, I forget the amount that it was sold for, but that was an example of a blog, a news blog, that was sold for a large amount of money. And you would be familiar with many blogs in the world that become very successful. We go and get our information from them. So are we just looking for people that are already bloggers? Well, I guess the answer is, as I talked about before, is that most of us don't even realize we already are bloggers. As I said, if you have a Facebook account, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you already are a blogger. It's just that you may just simply be an amateur blogger, and you don't know or don't care about monetizing your blogging. What we're now saying is that here's an opportunity to become a professional blogger, and an opportunity to provide you with a platform that you can monetize your blogging. For some people out there already are great bloggers and are happy to blog because it's their passion. It's something they're excited about, and they don't care about making money. But if they could make money from it, that would be even better. So what we're providing is a platform, one, to make it simple to blog, but two, to monetize the blog. And that's what's super critical. So even if someone's not hasn't done blogging before, it was certainly it's easy to learn how to do that, especially with a blogging platform and the mobile blogging app that will be released soon as well, to be able to do that. So I guess it creates an opportunity. Instead of these large media companies keeping all these large billions of dollars in advertising and sales revenue in their own pockets, we're going to redistribute that to as many outsourced bloggers as possible. And it taps into another trend, Lou, as well, is that most people in the future are going to derive their income from the internet. That's what the internet is doing. It's reshaping the world and reshaping the way we'll earn our income. And that's exciting because how many people, for instance, I decided to take yesterday off work, Lou. I don't have to, contact my employer and say I'm taking a day off. I simply email some of my managers and say I won't be in the office that day. I mean, I have a free life because it doesn't matter where I am in the world. I can operate my companies, via the iPhone, etc. So people want that, I guess, internet-free lifestyle, and I think everyone deserves that. With having internet online income, it means that people can have that future flexibility if they become good at this, be able to work from anywhere in the world. At any time and have that freedom. And I think there's nothing greater than having the freedom to work whenever you want, with whomever you want, as much as you want, and doing something you're passionate about. So that's what I'm excited about, that we can help so many people with this opportunity and this platform we're soon releasing to have the kind of life they've always dreamt about. Now, whether some people are happy, Lou, to make a couple $100 extra a month off the blog, but some are happy to make $1,000, $10,000 a month. Some want to make serious income, and when I say serious income, would be $100,000 type a month. Are these figures realistic? Obviously, it depends on the person. But I just come back from Los Angeles a few weeks ago, where we were in a blogging internet conference, and we saw firsthand, dozens of people making in excess of $100,000 a month. In my book, Lou, that I'm about to release most likely next week, which I finished recently, How to Make a Six-Figure Income from Blogging, there's a lot of examples and case studies there. People made tens and tens of millions of dollars from blogging. Of course, that's going to be subject to, everyone's different. But a lot of people out there be happy just to be able to blog about what they love, and any money they make is a bonus. And I think if you come from that angle, that's good. So I guess it depends. Anyone can be a blogger. Some people going, well, I don't have time to blog, or I'm busy in my business already or my career. And I was speaking to someone last week in Bali, a 23-year-old. She's from England, wants to move to Australia, and she's a freelance writer for a fashion magazine. And I said, and she's not making enough money, and she wants to make more money so she can move to Australia and have a better life. And I said, you should start a blog. And she goes, well, I don't know how, and two, I don't have the time. I said, you can't afford not to be blogging. I said, and she goes, what can I blog about? I said, well, you got to understand that you live in Bali. You have a great lifestyle. You might be making as much money as you want, but in Bali you don't need as much money. And you get to freelance write about fashion, and she also gets paid to go to restaurants and bars and do write up a critique about that. I said, you have a job that so many people in the world would love, just writing about your job and your life. There's a lot of people around the world who want to follow that. So I said, the point is you need to blog and build up a following, and then you can monetize that blog and you make more money, and you can still, sit in the pool every afternoon or go to the beach and have that free life. But you're going to start building up your following. And I guess that's what we're talking about here, is if you're an entrepreneur, you'll be able to use this blogging platform to grow your existing business. If you're in a career, you want to expand your career, you should be blogging about it. Give you an example. In the 21st Century, as a group of companies, turns over about $40 million a year. Our ad budget is virtually zero as far as advertising, other than, say, once off a year we've got a particular large event. We spend maybe no more than $5,000 a month on external advertising. Why? Because we blog. 21st Century News, as an example, those who subscribe to that, is effectively a blog. So by blogging, we expand our community, our following, and people find out about the different things that we do. That's the power of blogging, and that's the future of internet marketing. And that's what we're talking about tonight, is reshaping industry, being ahead of the trend. And what does that mean to you? It means if you want to make 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 a month, then you're going to have access to a platform that's going to enable you to do that.
See, what I have found over the last few years is that when you start learning a strategy, other than property or trading or business, when you start internet marketing, it actually taps into the creative side of your brain that most people don't realize how passionate that they are about a particular subject. When you start thinking about some of the things that you could talk about or that you're already an authority on, that's when the light turns on, and you just can't write down the ideas fast enough. So if we just have a quick example of, look, this is our news site, it's a blog, and I want you to imagine that this is similar to what your blogging platform will look like. So the header graphic up the top and the sidebar will be pre-populated with banners. Now that's all done by us, by 21st Century. Your job purely, guys, is just to write about the things that you love. Now, in this example, this is just how to get rid of that muffin top. Now, this is a subject that, obviously close to women's hearts. So, a lot of people will open this and read this. It's just a matter of writing on a personal level about the things that you know, that you understand, that you're an authority on. And if it's cooking, then you'll specifically tailor your blog towards that. If it's investing in property, then you would tailor articles and videos, etc. around that. Once you get started, it's very hard to stop. So, as I said, the platform is very simple. You've just got to upload the information, and we'll educate you exactly every marketing technique online, through social media, through article writing, through blogging. You'll also have access to, hundreds of hours of content, depending on the level that you enroll in. But effectively, everybody can do this. Everybody is good at something. They're passionate about something. It could be parenting. It could be surfing. It could be, a craft. Everybody's got a skill that they love. And once you get started, you'll absolutely love it. And this is where you'll monetize your site. So on the right-hand side, as I said, if there's a banner here, this one here says US property, a percentage of people will click on this. And if you can earn, $27, $97 a month recurring, where many of these people will come in. You don't have to get on the phone and speak to people. People will just keep coming to your website. Your blogs will be indexed in Google, and the more content that you put on your blog on a daily basis, the more money you will effectively earn. So we'll put you on like a 90-day fast track where, you're required to do a blog post each day, because the sooner you get content up, the faster you'll make money. Okay, so we'll take a couple of quick questions. Let's have a look here. This is from Pete. Can I blog under my pen name? So your pen name being your personal name?
No, it'd be under a different name.
Do you want to answer that, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, you can blog under whatever name you want, and what will happen is many of you become more sophisticated. You'll be running multiple blogs on different topics and different industries. So, yeah, a lot of people blog under their pen name. So, yeah, you can certainly do that, because you will probably end up having more blogs. For the starting off, you're probably saying, I've got to have time to do one blog. But remember, most of you already have the time. You're already posting on social media, so you're already blogging. So once you understand you already are blogging, and with our mobile app that we'll be releasing shortly, it'll make it so simple that you'll be able to post video, audio, text straight to your blog. You don't need to know coding. You don't need to have a marketing team behind you to do all that. The other thing, I guess, also is that you're getting access to a platform that has has inbuilt blog feeds to it. So part of our blogging platform is that you'll be getting 21st century news feeds fed into your blog daily. So that helps drive traffic, because it's all about traffic. I mean, what's Facebook after? For Facebook to be worth $100 billion, it's about traffic. The traffic they get, and a percentage of those people will click on their advertising, and companies will generate sales from that. The only difference is none of that money is coming back to you. Here, blogging platform, it's fed and designed to get maximum SEO and viral traffic. Plus, the more you're blogging to it and develop your niche, the more traffic you'll attract as well, and that traffic will convert into a percentage of advertising as they click through on digital banners for people that are interested, and then become part of our 21st Century ENetwork e-learning programs. So I guess what's good about it is that you have a back-end monetization system, so all you have to focus on is blogging, which generates more traffic. As far as topics, you mentioned, Lou, before, as far as, how many, what you talk about whatever you're interested in. Some people are interested in sport, right, and blog on sport. Interest in particular hobbies. Some of you have expertise in your career that you can write about. Others just what you're passionate, or things that you really want to get into. There's two ways to live your dream life. One is to be able to do your passion and make money from it. That's the dream way, to be able to do. I mean, I'm fortunate. I love speaking as a career. I love writing as a career. So I'm able to be able to turn that passion into to be able to earn an income from that. The other thing is to be able to do if you can't make money from your passion, is you generally have to make money from something else, and that's why we teach investing, etc. But in this case, you generally mightn't be able to make money from some of your hobbies or what you want to write about, but with this unique platform you get, because the platform is pre-set up with a back-end monetization system, where the 100% of the advertising sales rewards are shared with you, then of course all of a sudden now you can just write about something that if you just had your own standalone blog, you might make absolutely nothing out of it, because you don't have advertisers to advertise on your blog, or you don't have a back-end online programs or products that people can buy, so you wouldn't be making any money. So part of it's not just a platform that will help you blog and make it simple. The other part of it is a platform pre-set up that monetizes what you do.
So just adding on to that from Sam about outsourcing. So, some people may not want to blog post each day. However, we'll teach you how to outsource, where to get people to write regular blog posts on your behalf. So, yeah, you can definitely outsource, Sam. So I've got one from Simon here saying, does 21st century education provide the boundary of the content so that we don't violate any country's regulation, Jamie?
I think in those cases that would be a matter of, obviously we have a legal department and compliance department, and there'd be an agreement with the bloggers. But I think most blog platforms have any comments that would violate or content, then they tend to be removed, and of course we would be checking on that. But the internet world is a bit of a wild west. As you see, you can't always control the content people put out there. But obviously, if you're someone that's blogging, having content that's controversial is good. You just can't have content that's obviously offensive. That doesn't work, or considered racist or something like that. The controversial content is fine. That can be very effective at driving traffic. But you want to be blogging about things that are going to get you build a following, and that's what it's all about. And that's why some people can generate very large incomes online, because they've spent years building up a following. Other people have never done anything like this before. If it takes you a little bit longer to build up a following, that's only fair, because you've all got to start somewhere. But this is the future. No matter what business you're looking at doing or what career, you really should be building a following through blogging now. I'll give you an example. I spoke to my sister about this several years ago. My sister's got 5 kids, and is a great parent, is one of the best parents, I think. Whatever she's learnt, her kids are exceptionally well-behaved kids, and very polite and very well-mannered. I said, you should write about this. There's so many parents out there who'd like to know how to have kids like yours. I said, you should start a blog, and she didn't listen to me for a few years. Now, finally, she's starting a blog. I said, if you started this 2 or 3 years ago, you could have a huge following, especially mummy bloggers. Mummy bloggers are the biggest bloggers on the planet and have immense power and immense following. So it doesn't matter what topic. A lot of people don't realize they have an expertise, or other things you can blog about is just your life story. I mean, how many of us watch reality TV, and even don't admit it? But the point is that people are interested in real life. You have a story, a remarkable story, that people around the world want to hear your story. And we need this in this world, people to be able to express who they are and share their story and not be judged for who they are. Just be themselves, and this is who I am, and this is what my life's like. And just be yourself and be authentic. And that's what's effective as well in blogging, because people want to learn off real life people. They don't want a facade or pretentiousness or ego or people making out they're someone they're not. The most successful people, whether they're actors or actresses or business leaders or whatever field, is the people that they're themselves. You look at someone like Hugh Jackman, and why has he been so successful in Hollywood? Because Hugh is a great guy and is just himself. He's not trying to be anyone else, and people resonate with that.
So we've got a couple of more questions, and then we'll move on to the different levels. But from niche, will we limit the amount of people in a certain niche, or have no limit on the total bloggers in a niche? My answer to that, and then Jamie will give his, is that already on the internet, like Jamie just mentioned, mummy bloggers, there's so many blogs out there on parenting, on children's activities, etc., on cooking, on fitness. The thing is, the internet is so broad, and it is rare that we will, saturate one particular niche. So I don't believe that we're going to put a limit onto the niches. What do you think?
No, I think the reality is, the internet is, what's great about this is no boundaries. It's a worldwide marketplace. And, I think Mark Zuckerberg was saying recently he wants 1.7 billion people on Facebook alone. So, we're talking an extraordinarily huge market out there. It's just like in anything, if you're a good blogger and you write good content in particular niche, as I said, what you'll probably have is, as you expand your career as a blogger, you'll have many blogs targeting different niches. That's what you'll end up having. So there's unlimited niches, there's unlimited amount of people out there want to read content, and as you know, Google rewards content and regular content, and this is a way to, the day of just having a website for a business is old school. It's 20th century. 21st century is really blogging and innovative blogging, because you're providing content, and that's why Google recognizes, that's why news sites, for instance, are some of the highest ranked news sites in the world, because there's so much traffic going to them to read different articles. yours?
So, Paul, we will be using a WordPress blog template. So, as a very good question, he's asked, to be prepared, and you've already got a WordPress blog, then you can start actually preparing, because the launch is not until the end of November. So the people that get in early are obviously going to be in a prime position for when we launch. So, being prepared and getting ready and starting to build content now and starting to build your list of people that you know, your circle of influence, starting to create articles or outsource some content. So when the blogging platform goes live, then you can start uploading some content onto that. If you currently already run a number of WordPress blogs or Weebly websites or something similar, or Facebook, start creating a series of notes within your Facebook accounts with content that you can just move across onto your blog. So what we might do is just go through some of the levels, and there was a question further up, how different it is compared to some other competing websites. It's mainly that our products have been around for 15 years. So I think the fact that it's not just a blogging system, it's 15 years of unbelievable strategies and financial education.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at, and that's important when we go worldwide, is that, it's a 15-year-old company as far as 20th century education, and we have a whole range, as you know, educational programs that have been selling in the marketplace for a long time. And what will happen here, I guess, when we go through these different levels of programs, what we're looking at then is the monetization of your blog. Your focus really will be just blogging and getting traffic, people to the site, and then everything else is really automated and taking care of that for you. There'll be advertising banners preset on your blog, and people click through and become involved or become part of the community. The next percentage of them will want to enroll into the different levels of e-learning programs or others. You'll be able to build, those who want to build a large income, you'll be able to build a team of other bloggers around the world, and that's where you'll make a very large income, because you'll get a leveraged income off that as well. So and I guess that's why it's exciting. But the programs, as far as what people become a part of, as far as the monetization at the back end, is that a lot of these programs are selling in the marketplace now for a lot less than what people through the 20th Century Net will be able to get them for. So that's a difference too. And a lot of, I guess, internet opportunities out there is that they inflate the price of products so they can pay large commissions out. In this case, many of the products are being at a lower price through the ENetwork than what they sell in the marketplace, and that's just proving that the products already sell online and in the marketplace. You're just going to be able to have them as a back-end system that monetizes your existing blog. Now, if you're already an existing business, remember, when you get access to this blogging platform, you can use that to grow your existing businesses as well. Which you should be doing regardless, and a simple blogging platform like this will be very effective for that. But you'll also end up generating two forms of income from your existing business or career that you're promoting through your blog, but also people become involved off the banner ads on your blog platform, and you're picking up an automated income at the back end, and I think that's fairly exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's super exciting. So we'll just take one more question, then we'll wrap this up. So, Simon, you're asking about the sort of level of content that we're going to teach regarding internet marketing, such as writing, SEO, keyword research. We've got access to probably the world-leading internet marketers and web strategists available. We've always had access to that. So we've got a lot of knowledge and skill, not just locally here in Australia in the country, but all around the world. And, a lot of this education is available to our members right now. So you will have the best and most current up-to-date content about Google, about SEO, about, writing, keyword research, etc. So even if you sort of have a fair knowledge of it, by the end of this, you'll be an absolute expert on all things relating to blogging. So let's have a look at it quickly, just the levels that you guys can either become part of or you can package it. So if we look at level 1 and 2, these have been up here for a while. You can see that we've got a lot of different programs, and in particular level 2, which is an investment of $97 a month. That's the home study membership online. So that's probably the key flagship product that is available. And, many of you have already done this, but what I also want to bring your attention to is that the fact that you're going to get complete resale rights of Jamie's books, both in level 1 and level 2. So that means that you can offer them onto your website, you can sell them, and you keep 100% of the profits as long as it's equal to and it's not sold above the price that we sell it for at 21st Century. So you've got level 1 and 2, and this is, Ron, this is how we differ from a lot of the other products. So most people can start at that $27 a month level. Now you've got the option of either being an affiliate if you want to earn commissions from referring and promoting these programs on the blog, or you can just simply buy these programs yourself. So you've got level 3, 4 and 5, which increases in value plus increases in content. Did you want to add something to these levels?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, basically what we're doing to make it affordable for bloggers, we're saying, well, we'll help train you as a blogger, and that you can get started from $27 a month. That'll get you a blogging platform. It'll get you the 21st Century News content that will be automatically fed into your blogging platform, which is sold in the marketplace for $39 a month right now. You'll get a blogging platform that's monetized, that you can generate a back-end income as people participate in the different level ENetwork programs that are available. So that's if you want to be an affiliate. You can just get a blog and just blog about your business and not take part in the back-end monetization. But if you're looking for an internet income where you can make money, a six-figure income potentially from blogging, well, you'd be an affiliate, because then that way you're going to profit from the traffic, a percentage of the traffic that comes to your blog, so you can stay focused on blogging and let the blogging platform do the work for you to monetize the traffic that you're generating. Because as I said, you can actually be a good blogger and generate traffic, but if you don't have a way to monetize that traffic, then still you're not going to generate revenue. The other benefit is obviously there's a lot of value in the different e-learning programs and the marketplace out there around the world that people want to participate just in the e-learning programs is enormous, and we'll be adding more and more of the top speakers around the world to 20th Century ENetwork with their content and programs, so it will become the educational platform for so many people around the world to continue their learning. But also we want to make sure as we help people make decent income from their online blogging, is that they invest that money wisely, and with the financial strategies taught in the different e-learning programs, they'll know how to not only make the money online, but you'll also learn how to invest that smartly and diversify and build a multitude of income. So I think that's also invaluable as well. It also means a lot of people that are involved with 21st Century already want to do more investing. It's another way to add another pillar of income to what they're doing, to help fuel your investment strategies that you're learning as well.
So you could either go for the fast start, which is what probably the best way to get going, and get levels 1 through to 5 combined. Because if you look at those commissions, you're getting 100% commissions right up until level 4. So when you get to level 5 and someone that comes to your website does the fast start and then also attends our big Education for Life 3-day event, which is at the end of November, by the way. So if you haven't booked in, it's in Melbourne on the 30th of November to the 2nd of December. That's 70% commission. This is the highest affiliate program pretty much on the internet. And then from there, it builds up into absolutely enormous value as far as annual platinum membership, elite membership, and then our Centurion 3-year membership. So that's where we're going to have, that's invite only. And this is, this is something that you could set a goal that in 12 months' time or in 6 months' time, you want to be able to have achieved right up to level 8, where imagine getting 70% of $50,000 as a commission, right? And, this is where you're hanging out with like-minded people. You're in, let's have a look at some of the, I've got these here, some of the incentives to doing this. I think you just, that's what I love about Jamie. He just creates that, like he goes to Bali for a week and comes back with this enormous, unbelievable strategy that we're really excited to get into. So there's a lot of different incentives. So Jamie, talk about the $1 Million Club that you've got here.
Yeah, I guess what you want is incentives for the top performers. So people are going to be making a large income, and you're just blogging, you might make your $5,000-$10,000 a month. But if you want to make more than $5,000-$10,000 a month, you really probably need to be building a team of bloggers which is not necessarily going to be hard because people, you're going to want to know what you're doing and how you're making money blogging. They're going to want to join the blogging platform. Just to clarify, why there's 8 different levels of programs, it means that, I guess, for an internet business opportunity, it caters for all socio-economic levels. Some people don't have a lot to invest into a business, so for $27 to get started, that's a low-cost way to get into the world of online business and online blogging. Other people, going out there in the marketplace that spend $500,000 on a franchise or looking for franchises, and you have to hire the staff and manage that, and $500,000, and you may or may not make money. So there's people at all different levels. The reason a lot of people will upgrade through each of the 8 levels of e-learning programs is because in order to earn those higher commissions, is that you need to upgrade before the traffic that's coming via your blog is participating in those different levels. If they upgrade to a level of any of those levels before you do, then you miss out on your 100% commission, if that makes sense. So a lot of people will upgrade before their traffic does to make sure they capture those levels of income. So it's a high incentive. But obviously, there's people at different levels. So some people are happy to make a few $100s a month, but there is people that are used to making 6-figure incomes per month from internet businesses and can build teams rapidly or move their teams across. There are a lot of people that already have network teams out there running this through their teams or about to, because it's people want to be trained and educated on all these sort of strategies, plus learn how to blog online and make extra money. So it's a business, I guess, internet business that can cater for all different levels, but the income potential is enormous, and that's what we're excited about, to help a lot of people around the world have a quality of lifestyle. I'm sure a lot of people love the chance to be able to travel to these events around the world with like-minded people and know that's your business, that's your career. You're continually learning and growing in a great environment of people that believe there's more to life and want to live a great life and have the income to be able to have the freedom to do that. And a business that from $27 to get started and learn about blogging, it can be a successful career, and people get smart and then start outsourcing their blogging, etc. But there's plenty of things to blog about. As we know, we all blog on Facebook and Twitter. So the key is you're already blogging. I guess the question is, do you now want to be paid and no longer work for Facebook for free?
So guys, if you want to get started, you can just email me. I'll give you the details at the end, or you can go to our website, 21stcenturyenetwork.com. Select the level, make a decision. It's quite simple. Select $27 a month or $97 a month, and the pre-launch is at the end of November. But you want to get ahead before we do this massive launch, and start collecting the people, or your list, and start getting ready for when this takes off. Because when this does take off, the entire company, I was talking in the office today, and one of our accounts guys pretty much came up to me and said that he didn't know what to blog about last week, and this week he's created this whole creative concept around this musical instrument that he plays, and he sat down with me for an hour and just told me exactly what he was going to blog about. So once you sort of just plant the idea, plant the seed, and that's what I want you guys to think about tonight. I want you to get started. I want you to fill out the form and get started at least on level 1. And then once you enroll someone into level 1, that means you're going to get, depending on where they sit in the compensation plan, and you can read all about that on our website. But imagine what it's going to be like getting 5 or 6 people recurring income, $27 a month into your bank account, and then upgrade into the 97, and then you get another 5 or 10 people paying $97 a month recurring income. Within a few months, you could potentially have at least 20 to 30 people earning $27, paying $27 a month, $97 a month, and then they will continually upgrade, because our job at 21st Century is the sales and marketing behind the blog. You just have to write really good content.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's exciting. So people want something that they can focus on that's their passion, and I think once you get used to blogging very well, it's really just sharing things about your life or about things that interest you, and I guess once you get good at it, you won't be able to stop or become quite addictive. But be able to turn something you're passionate about or something you've always been interested in into being able to profit from that. I think that's the ultimate career. People would love to do something they love and be paid for it. That's what everyone really wants. And this is a platform to help that. And I said why we're doing it, because, as I said, we want to participate in the reshaping of the media industry. We believe we don't want to hire a heap of journalists. We want to outsource that, and that's why that opportunity is there. And unlike Facebook, which is an extraordinary, great company, but that $5 billion in revenue that Facebook's doing now as a result of you blogging on Facebook and a lot of other people isn't being shared back to you. We're now going to share that revenue that's generated off this platform 100% back to you. So as an organization, I'm not sure we can be any more generous than that. My CFO has a heart attack every time, especially when I mention that we're giving away all the revenue. They still can't get their head around that, but our mission is to spread our e-learning programs around the world and reach 1 million people by 2020, 10 million by 2030, and as many as 100 million by 2050. So we want to build up a very passionate, powerful worldwide team of bloggers that will indirectly spread that message of the need of a 21st century education, and the process of that reshape the media industry and liberate not only a lot of people involved in this, but enable people to access information in a non-agendered, non-editorial controlled way. And that's what I think the internet's great for, is leveling that playing field and giving the small person a chance to play on the level playing field, the same as News Corp and Fairfax and these large companies that you can now compete against from the comfort of your own home. And that's what I'm excited about. So if you wish to be a part of it, we wish you well. We're very committed to assisting our bloggers and doing very well, and I look forward to seeing some of you at the overseas events and sipping some cocktails and sharing the stories of how you first become involved and how much you've grown and evolved through your blogging career.
So it's not just that, though. Before you go, I just wanted to, it just reminded me of something. When people start coming to the big events, because we'll have events purely just for ENetwork participants and team members, but you forgot to mention that they also have the opportunity to learn how to become a public speaker.
Yeah, I forgot that. We are looking to recruit and train public speakers. A lot of people have often said, how do they get onto the 21st century platform to be a speaker, etc. This will be another opportunity to do that. Anyone that in one of those incentives that earns more than $20,000 a month through this blogging system for at least 3 months minimum will be invited, expense paid, and flown to some of our training events to share their story as well. So there's those opportunities to develop your public speaking skills, and of course part of the training programs through these e-learning programs will teach you that. The other interesting thing is, a lot of people don't realize, by becoming a blogger, you actually are training yourself to be a much better public speaker, because you are learning to express yourself, not just writing, but maybe video blogs as well. And it is a great training ground to become a public speaker and be able to share your story in bigger ways. Lou, did you want to take any last-minute questions before we wrap up? Yeah,
so we've got, Robert, there is payment finance available just until the launch. After the launch, the fast start is $46.15. So we can offer finance for that for the next month. So if you want to do a payment plan, if you want to do the income generator, we also offer easy finance for that as well. So for those people who want to get started, you can just email us or go to the 21st century enetwork.com website, or you can email me lharty@21stca.com.au, and I'll send you now a PDF order form. But I think the idea is to make a decision, get started now, whether you're going to do the fast start. If you do the fast start, then you're going to be earning virtually 5 streams of income, or 4 of the streams you're going to earn 100% commission recurring, particularly for the first 2 levels, and then 70% on level 5. So that's probably the best value for money at $4,615. $615. Otherwise, the big guns go straight for the income generator, and we can go from there. Is the learning via webinars or a mix of classroom and webinars? It is, absolutely. So we've got a private online membership. We'll have live events. We'll have webinars. We'll have one-on-one coaching. We'll have coaching calls. There'll be so much training because this is the major focus of this. So it is in the flesh as well as all online delivery as well, Simon. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, I think we've answered all of these. Fill in your details, email me now, and let's get you started ASAP before the launch. Jamie, as usual, it's always great to have you in the office. And, as long as we can try and get him to come and deliver more of this amazing content, the better. It's fantastic. So thanks for coming, Jamie.
You're welcome. It's great to be here. Great talking to you guys. Look forward to seeing you on a nice beach somewhere and sipping a cocktail. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.